What's going on, people? It's your boy Henry Carson III, and I simply say what I want to, simply because I can. Hey, how y'all doing today? I'm just chilling, taking a break from it all right now. Just kind of giving some thought to some of the things, the material that I told you guys I was going to get posted on this week. There's a whole lot that I'm really wanting. Wait a second. Sorry about that. Throat was a little parched, so to speak. There's a whole lot anyway that I wanted to talk to you guys about, that I've told you that I'm going to be posting a lot of material in the coming weeks. It's a lot definitely on my mind, a lot that really needs to be out there in rotation, because I think really at this time and age that we're in, the time frame, many people have went dumb. Literally, there's so many things that become very obvious, and they don't even really hide it anymore from you. In a book used to say that in order to hide real information from a person, you would hide it in the book. They basically hide it in plain sight, and we don't even pick up on the breadcrumbs. The reason that I'm saying that, it was kind of brought on by a statement that I made on Facebook, and the statement was simply this. It was that capitalism and it was capitalism and communism are the tension that holds everything together. Think about that for a second. In order to have a yin, you're going to always have a yang. In order to respect light, you had to have been in the dark at some point. The bottom line is that I'm definitely not opposed to capitalism at all. As at the end of the day, we've all benefited at some point in some way from capitalism. You guys may have benefited from it and not even knew it, not even realize what you were benefiting from. Capitalism is simply this. There's something that you're actually benefiting from based on the lack of another individual's knowledge of that. You're capitalizing on it. Our nation was built on capitalism. When you look at it, literally, the Pilgrims, as they approached the Native Americans on that border, at the end of the day, basically, they suffered loss because the Pilgrims capitalized on their lack thereof. And I won't go deep into that, but they basically capitalized on their ignorance. In many ways, all of us have either capitalized or been taken advantage of due to a lack of knowledge of a certain situation, lack of you doing a proper price check, lack of you doing a proper, product search or comparative search, if you will. At the end of the day, we're not going into the, if you will, the economic end of that, not really going into the retail end of what capitalism is. Capitalism, for lack of better wording, just a simplistic definition, is being able to take advantage of a system. Many a times we see people capitalizing on the stock market. So the stock, for instance, is up today. They're going to invest more money today to be able to capitalize on that windfall for tomorrow. We see a whole lot of the markets that are now fluctuating either up or down. It's like the blink of an eye, blow of the wind, change of the weather. But as I said, I'm not getting into the economic end of capitalism. Now, when I'm talking about communism, socialism, it's kind of, if you will, kind of one and the same. It's kind of to a degree to where you begin to hear certain verbiage a lot like, let's get everybody to the same amount of wage daily. So it begins to become a situation to where, if I were to ask you a question, if every job paid the same amount, then what would the benefit be for even, number one, going to college to get a degree to be able to afford you the possibility of a higher pay? Or number two, simply coming to a job. If everything paid $15 an hour, then there would be no need to have doctors, surgeons, etc., etc. I'm simply saying that to say this. Number one, I'm not against the minimum wage going up at all. What I am against is the amount of people that aren't really viewing what is happening in plain sight in their verbiage. You may say, what do you mean? I'll explain it to you. As I've been telling you guys, and it's not, a lot of people say It's conspiracy. Well, my brothers and sisters, conspiracy is becoming truth right before our eyes. Think about it. The stalwart, as you will, the foundation of any communist socialist takeover is to deduce all of the people down, the 99% in which we are, sadly to say, that's to deduce all of us down to the same either amount of getting paid everything across the board, no matter what our qualifications are, no matter what lack their qualifications are, everybody gets paid the same amount for everything. That's capitalism. That's not capitalism. That is communism in verbiage. Think about this. When you begin to hear your government, number one, say we're going to get everybody to the same living wage, what they have literally done in hindsight, as you guys were captivated by the kangaroo court, which we knew how that was going to go, they basically, over the midst of 2020, they wiped out the middle class. So we definitely now have the haves, which is the 1%, and the have-nots, which are all of the 99% in which we are. They've wiped that out. So now it comes down to a point to where you ask, why would the parties begin to balk against the $15? Because the $15 would then empower the middle class again. Let's make no mistake about it. The current government structure, be it Republican or Democrat or independent, they are no more interested in empowering the middle class as they are as beginning to have a more widening gap of the haves and the have-nots, of which we are. So whenever you guys begin to hear the verbiage that they're fighting against it, don't look at yourself like you're surprised at that. Think about it. If I'm trying to capitalize on somebody, would it benefit me to raise their living wage? No, it would not. The first stalwart to communist takeover is to have everybody reliant on the government for assistance. That's what we're seeing. Check it. In the midst of the 60 record executive orders at this point, this man alone that is currently in office has, in the whip of a pen, wiped out nearly 30,000 jobs. We're talking about these were 30,000 skilled jobs to where individuals had an opportunity to be in what would be called a middle class. Let's be honest. The current power structure is not threatened by the 99% poverty line level at all, but they are threatened by a strong middle class. Now, I don't agree with everything that the former president did, but I did agree with a few things. I did agree that for all intent and purposes, it did look like he was for a stronger middle class. He was for a national dollar, which is all things that benefit the 99% within the borders of this nation. At the end of the day, if I were to say the difference, and this is where it gets hairy, people, hear me out. If there is no need for me to no longer capitalize on you, then I now can begin to tell you exactly what I feel about you. Think about it. Most of us, the only reason you've not told those in charge how you really feel about them is because it's connected to a paycheck. You're benefiting from capitalism. Think about it. If everything was the same and there was no need, then we're going to begin to have everybody simply tell everybody exactly how they feel. And what would then happen is that we would actually serve the 1%'s purpose. And the 1%'s purpose is to have us broke, busted, disgusted, fighting and divided against each other. Guys, don't be falling for the foolery that you're seeing. There's a reason that they're not going to raise the minimum wage. They are not here to empower the middle class. They are not here for Black Lives Matter. They are not here to empower any lives for that matter, but the 1%. You guys in this hour need to begin to stay woke or wake up. I don't understand it. You're so intelligent. You have so much information availed to you, but you don't research or even think for yourself. At the end of the day, the only tension that's keeping us from civil war, there is a tension that we need one another. If you remove capitalism from the context and you have communism and socialism, then at that point, civil war begins, because nobody has a need for anybody to benefit in any way. I know you love to hear the fact that raising of the class would be $15 for everybody, but that's such a terrible idea when you really think about what I truly believe the 1% is trying to make happen at this point. They're trying to keep us at one another's throats. Think about it. Everything that you watch is predicated on either race baiting or inciting riot or inciting people to go against each other. The one thing that the 1% would hate is that if all of the 99% black, white, brown, whomever got together and bum rushed their power structure, it would then remove the, I guess, if you will, the bait and switch that they've been using on us for hundreds and hundreds of years. Guys, at the end of the day, it is truly time that you think for yourself again, and you begin to really think about what you're hearing. Anytime that you're hearing about evening the playing field, that's a terrible idea. Because at the end of the day, once the playing field is evened, there's no reason to play fair anymore for anybody. Hey, just some morsels, some nuggets I wanted to leave with you guys. Like I said, capitalism and socialism, if you will, there's a tension there that's being held. If it's all capitalism, then it's all capital. If it's all socialism, then there's no reason for capitalizing at all. Think about it. How would you begin to encourage someone to go to school, get a trade, get a skill if everything paid the same thing? There would simply be no reason to do anything at all but rely on the government. You guys be blessed. This is your boy Henry Carson III, and I simply say what I want to say because I can. I love you guys. I'm out of here.